Greetings and salutations from the southern tropics of Michigan. I'm Jordan the IT guy, and today we're going to talk about something that is just a little bit different than PowerShell. Today, in fact, we're going to chat about one of my favorite things usually to talk about, configuration manager and automatic deployment rules. Specifically, we're going to talk about something that is extremely dangerous in them. Now, the reason I've picked this topic is because of the fact that I've run into this enough times now where I've seen organizations, I've seen people just using this particular set of criteria, and it's come back and it's bitten them enough times, and I've seen it enough. I want to put something out here to help prevent people from ending up in this situation anymore, okay? Specifically, this is going to be talking about using a very unique combination within ADRs, and that is the combination of using required combined with date released revised. Now, if you've ever heard me do this particular bit before, you probably already know what's coming. In general, just don't use this combination. Just don't. 9 times out of 10, there's no valid reason why you would want to use this combination. And in fact, depending on how you use it, like I said, it might be dangerous. You might end up in a situation where you never end up patching, which is not good for anyone. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. We're going to jump on into some quick demo bits here. We're going to start with a quick example in Microsoft Paint just to help kind of set some ideas and some understandings. So let's start off by thinking of time as this line right here, okay? This is our sense of time, starts over here, goes over here. All right, if at this point in time right here is when an update releases, okay? Seems reasonable enough. At some point after that, an ADR will run. Now, when an ADR is set to run and when you apply the field date released revised, it looks back in time a set distance. In this case, let's say that it looks back in time this set distance. Okay? What that means, if you happen to use the required option with that, okay, is that a device somewhere within this block of time here must have checked in with WSUS and said, hey, I have this software, I need this update, it's applicable to me. If this does not happen, if a device in this time sliced here to here does not check in, then the ADR here that runs at this point will not pull in the content. Okay? So let's say, for example, that this is a time slice and this ADR is set to run and such that it is for 7 days. Okay? So this is 7 days. Use color that's actually readable here. 7 days. Okay. Now, if this ADR runs again, let's say that, for example, down here, nobody checked in. No one said that I require it because they hadn't had a chance to check in and scan yet. Okay. Very plausible situation depending on frequency and depending on how fast after this patch's release occurred. Let's say that this runs again 7 days later. Okay. Now, if this runs again over here 7 days later, the timeline does not change of how far back it looks. It looks back now to where it assumes date release revised is here, which means this update is no longer part of the possible scope. Even if it meets this required, even if there's updates in here that are required, right? So even if it's, oh yeah, green, happy days, right? I found something, it's required, all good things. If the time that it was released is still way back here and wasn't within the 7-day field, despite it being required, it's not going to deploy. Okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at what this looks like in Configuration Manager so you can go and compare and look inside of your automatic deployment rules. I happen to have my console open. I happen to have a Config Manager ADR here. I'm going to go ahead and look at the properties of this. Now, I don't have it configured this way to start with, so we're going to configure it in the dangerous way, okay? So right now, if I was to click Preview, it'll show no updates. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the vendor tag here just to showcase a preview, okay? So here's some updates. They fall into this category. Seems reasonable enough. If I add a required filter here, and I do something like greater than or equal to 1, hit Add, hit OK, hit Preview, we'll see that those updates go away because none of those are required for me. And that might well be fine, okay? However, let's go ahead and also add one other criteria here. So I go ahead and up here and I add date release revised, released within the last, let's say, 5 days, and hit OK, and hit preview. None of them are going to show up. That's also fine. However, combining these two together, not fine. Go back to another tab and come back to refresh this panel here because this doesn't like to. There we go. This is not fine. You don't want to do this. Because if your schedule is set up in a weird way, and you are set up in any way, shape, or form where these two things will cause one or the other to not be true, you won't end up deploying any updates. I hope this has been helpful to people. I hope that this was kind of understanding or helped increase some people's understanding of automatic deployment rules. If there's other possible criteria or combinations that you'd like me to break down or provide an analysis of, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I will try to work through those and give some more conversations about them. If you want to hear more content like this, again, just let me know. I'll be happy to talk more about that as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Have a wonderful rest of your day.